My husband betrayed me through our surrogate, so now I'm erasing both from my future life. I've been with my husband for nearly a decade, married for 7 years, and we've faced one of life's greatest challenges together, infertility. After 4 years of trying to conceive, with medical interventions that never seemed to work, I was diagnosed with a condition that made it nearly impossible for me to carry a child to term. This diagnosis was a devastating blow, but the surgeries that followed, including a partial hysterectomy, were even more soul-crushing. I still had my ovaries, which gave us hope for surrogacy, but the costs were astronomical. In our darkest hour, a close friend from college who had already navigated motherhood twice stepped in with an offer to be our surrogate, cutting down the financial burden. After 2 rounds of IVF that didn't take, the third attempt finally worked, or so we thought. I was working myself into the ground with multiple jobs to finance this dream, too tired to see the red flags. My friend was spending more time with my husband, which I naively saw as part of the surrogacy process. But when our son was born with brown eyes, unlike our blue ones, I dismissed it as a genetic anomaly. The illusion shattered during a routine medical appointment. A blood test showed our son had a blood type incompatible with mine, leading to a DNA test that confirmed my worst fears. I wasn't the biological mother, but my husband was the father. The pain was unbearable when my husband confessed his affair with our surrogate. He claimed he didn't think it would lead to pregnancy because he pulled out, a ridiculous excuse given our history of fertility struggles. This betrayal was threefold: from my husband, from my friend, and from the realization that the child I had bonded with wasn't mine. Overwhelmed by rage and grief, I left our home for a hotel and then sought refuge with my parents. I'd begun divorce proceedings, seeking to relinquish my parental rights to avoid the constant reminder of their betrayal. My husband and the surrogate, while admitting their guilt, had the audacity to call me immature and heartless for considering leaving the child behind. My parents and some friends argue I should maintain my parental rights, drawing parallels to adoption. But for me, this child would forever be a reminder of their deceit. I'm looking into moving states away, seeking a fresh start without the burden of child support for a child that isn't mine biologically. Update: 5 months later. I've made my choice. I'm not staying. The decision was ripped from my hands when the surrogate fought to keep her son. I've been more upset about this loss than I let on. It wasn't my choice to lose him. I've been coping by convincing myself I didn't want to raise someone else's child, but the truth is, I'm mourning the loss of what I thought was my family. She has her child, my husband has moved on, and I'm left with nothing but my pain. I have no legal rights anymore. The only way I could stay in this child's life would be to remain with my cheating husband and share custody with my former friend, an arrangement I cannot fathom. It's now clear that my husband's infidelity was not an isolated incident. He's been unfaithful throughout our marriage. So to those who judge me as selfish or heartless, they don't understand the depth of my betrayal, the loss I've suffered, nor the impossible situation I've been cornered into. The legal and emotional battles have been draining, and I've learned that the surrogacy paperwork we signed was akin to adoption papers. But now trying to undo that is an uphill battle. I've been trying to reclaim some semblance of peace, focusing on therapy to navigate through this sea of emotions. But the scars of this experience will take time to heal. I'm now looking at life post-divorce, contemplating the future, and considering the possibility of adoption with someone I can trust, someone who won't betray the sanctity of our family. But for now, I'm grieving, and I'm trying to rebuild myself from the ground up, one day at a time.